Good morning all. Today's topic of discussion is application specific integrated circuits part 4. Objective of this lecture is to make the students familiarize with routing process in ASIC design. Once the designer has floor planned a chip and the logic cells within the flexible blocks have been placed, it is time to make the connections by routing the chip. This is still a hard problem that is made easier by dividing it into the smaller problems. Routing is usually split into the global routing followed by detailed routing. Suppose the ASIC is North America and some travelers in California need advice on how to drive from Stanford to Caltech. The floor planner has decided that California is on the left side of the ASIC and the placement tool has put Stanford in the North California and Caltech in Southern California. The floor planning and placement have defined the roads and the freeways, and there are two ways to go: the coastal route or the inland route. The global router specifies the coastal route because the travelers are not in a hurry and the I-5 is congested. The global router knows that because it has already routed onto I-5 many other travelers that are in a hurry today. So next, the detailed router looks at a map and gives the indication from Stanford onto the highway 101 south through the San Jose, Monterey and Santa Barbara to Los Angeles, and then off the freeway to the Caltech in Pasadena. So thus routing is a fundamental step in the place and route process. It creates the metal shapes that meet the requirement of the fabrication process. That is the physical connection between the cells in the design. The virtual routes used during the placement and the clock tree synthesis need to become reality now. So timing of design needs to be preserved. The timing data such as signal transitions and clock skew needs to match the virtual route estimates. So the process of routing can be timing driven. So we can see some routes are prepared over here and two colors are used for routing. The green color are non-critical net and the red color are critical nets. The routing along the timing critical path is given priority and it creates the shorter and faster connections for the critical nets. For the non-critical paths, the routes are around the critical areas. Reduces the routing congestion problem for the critical path and does not adversely impact timing of non-critical path. So in detail we will see the concept of routing track. So metal routing track are shown with blue colors and we can see the minimum spacing between the two routes and the minimum width of the route. So these are the design rules that we have to follow while preparing the routing track. The metal routes must meet the minimum width and spacing, that is the design rules, to prevent open and short circuits during the fabrication. In grid-based routing systems, these design rules determine the minimum center-to-center distance for each metal layer, that is the track or the grid spacing. The congestion occurs if there are more wires to be routed than the available tracks. So there is a grid-based routing system so that we will have a particular spacing between the routes and a particular width of a route. The metal traces, which are nothing but the routes, are built along and centered around the routing tracks. So we can see the dotted lines over here, the faint yellow lines, those are the track. So around that track the routes or the traces can be prepared. Each metal layer has its own tracks and preferred routing direction. For example, the metal 1, which is shown over here, that is blue color M1. This metal 1 is having the horizontal tracks, that is the preferred direction for the routing. Then metal 2, which is shown with yellow color, that is having the vertical preferred routing direction. The track and pitch information can be located in the technology file. And then the design rules will be used for preparing that. And that information will also be available in the technology file. Then how this routing operation is performed. So it is divided into 4 parts: the global route, the track assign, detailed route, search and repair. The CAD tool performs 4 stages during the routing: global routing, track assignment, detailed routing and the search and repair. So after the stages 1 to 3, all the clock or signal nets will be completely routed and should meet all the timing and design rule requirements. These are, the short form is DRC, that is design rule check. So the first 3 stages will be completed and then the design rule check requirements are checked. Any remaining DRC violation can be fixed by the search and repair. That is the final stage. So now one by one we'll go to these stages. So first we'll go for the global routing. Global routing means globally connecting all the point A's to all point B's. So this global routing is the first step of routing process. So what is done in this global routing? The goals of this global routing are to provide the complete instructions to the detailed router on where to route every net. And the objectives of this global routing are: minimize the total interconnect length, maximize the probability that the detailed router can complete the routing, and minimize the critical path delay. The input to this global router is a floor plan that includes the locations of all the fixed and flexible blocks, the placement information for the flexible blocks, and the location of all the logic cells. So based on that, this global routing algorithm will start preparing the global routes, and it will try to prepare the routes in such a way that the interconnect length will be minimum, the probability of completing the routes will be maximum, and the critical path delay will also be minimum. Each net receives a broad routing plan determining how the net will be routed in the design. So some broad view or the broad routing plan will be prepared. So determine the open channel for routing, provides the background information for the next step of the track assignment. And then routing congestion is resolved. If the congestion is severe, the extreme measures may be taken, such as moving the large macros or re-floor planning the design to relieve the congestion. So as discussed earlier, the floor planning is also the iterative process. So global routes will be prepared and the congestions in a particular area of the chip will be rethinked so that the congestion is to be avoided, and as per that the blocks will be reshuffled, and then the floor plan can also be altered. So how the tracks will be assigned? It is the second step in the routing process. First the global routes will be prepared, next is track assignment. So the predefined structure is there for preparing the routes. Assign each net to a specific track and creates the physical metal traces. And attempts are made to make long straight traces and to reduce the numbers of wires. So wires are nothing but the connections from one layer to the other layer. So the thorough hole with the uh, inside layer of metal is required to have the interconnection between the different layers of the chip. So and that is a costly affair. So it is tried to minimize those wires. And physical DRC rules are not checked at this particular stage. Then the next step is detailed routing. In this detailed routing, the one-to-one connection, that is the point-to-point connection, will be done. It is the third step in the routing process, and attempts to clear the DRC violations using the fixed size S box. So for making the connections, the S boxes pattern is followed. So that the DRC violations can be overcome. All violations may not be fixed due to the fixed S box size. And the last step in this routing is the search and repair. So in this search and repair, whatever DRC violations are there, those are checked, and then the rules are satisfied. It is the last step in the routing process. Fixes the remaining DRC violations through the multiple loops using the progressively larger S-box size. And design must have zero DRC violation. So the final routed design should have the zero DRC violations. So in this detailed routing, while preparing the detailed routes, the objective is, the goal is of detailed routing is to complete all the connections between the logic cells, and the objective is the total interconnect length and the area. Should be as minimum as possible. The number of layer changes that the connections have to make should be also as minimum as possible, and the delay of critical path should also be as minimum as possible. So there are different algorithms used for this completion of this process, or to carry out this process. Some of the names are left edge algorithm. That is one algorithm. Then with the help of which the detailed routing is done, or the area routing algorithm is also available, or there is a multi-level routing algorithm. By using these type of routing algorithms, this process is completed. There are some special routes also formed. One is clock routing and the other is power routing. The routes throughout the chip for the clock distribution are prepared. So the gate arrays normally use the clock spine, that is a regular grid, eliminating the need for the special routing. So that is also possible, or we can have a special routing for the clock and the special routing for the power distribution also. Thank you.